Hi, I'm Kira. I'm a PhD student at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. I study misinformation and measles vaccine hesitancy. A really important feature of a good, solid PhD program is that they're adequately preparing you to do independent research. I am very fortunate in that I have a very robust program that included a lot of statistics courses. And because I like to go off on tangents, I ended up doing a lot of statistical analysis that didn't really relate to my topic. But as an ER nurse, I find this one very relevant. This has to do with harm reduction. Um, I live in Tucson. The opioid related deaths here are above the national average. It's very alarming and sad. We give out Narcan for free in our hospital to help prevent deaths because even if we're not able to fix the problem, at least we can prevent people from dying. So what I did was take a look at when illicit fentanyl was first introduced into our population at large. It's been used for a long time as a really great opioid at the bedside. I was a trauma nurse for the majority of my career, and it's a wonderful analgesic for somebody that has lower blood pressure. It comes on very fast, and then it leaves your system really quickly, so it's really wonderful for those emergent situations. Unfortunately, around 2013, it hit the streets, and the death toll from it began climbing. And what I noticed was a trend, and you can kind of see it in the middle there, of males were disproportionately dying over females. And so I wanted to examine that in a statistical model. And luckily for me, my professor, Dr. Chestnut, is amazing and allows me to kind of just do whatever I want. So in this robust statistical analysis program that I did, I chose what's called a time-interrupted series. And this is a series that models the frequency of events over time and examines the extent to which a certain event in time interrupts a pattern. So this is used maybe in situations where it's not really feasible to implement a randomized controlled trial, such as like a law that needs to be implemented. So then you can compare the model before and after and see if it was effective. And so my cutoff criteria was just biologic sex, and then that year before and the year after. And again, with the robust statistics program that I have, we enter everything into, we code our own data, and it's put into R. So I will share that later, probably in a different video, because I got to make 2 to get credit. So I'll make another one, and we'll discuss the results from that. So I used a linear regression model to predict the influence of biological sex on mortality from illicitly manufactured fentanyl. I gathered my data from the NVSS on the CDC website, coded it, and put it into an Excel spreadsheet, transferred it into a CVS file, and uploaded it into R. I ran a couple different linear regression models that indicated predicted deaths from the model account for 98% of the variance in observed deaths. Prior to 2013, males experienced a significantly approximate 896 more deaths per year based on the variable. And then after the year of 2013, they experienced 6,181 more deaths. And this is just based on biologic sex alone. This prediction aligns with the number of fatalities reported. As you can see in that middle figure, that is my ggplot2 from the statistical program. That is just the model of the linear regression. So you can have like the visual representation of it. So as you can see, this kept increasing steadily year after year after the introduction of fentanyl. And so the purpose of my study here, and if you can look close at all, that's fun, was to examine the effect that biologic sex had on suffering mortality from opioids. The literature supports a trajectory in opioid-related deaths can be influenced by the introduction of illicitly manufactured fentanyl. Male mortality rates from opioids remain relatively constant at 1.5 times greater than women until shortly after the beginning of the third wave of opioid introduction, which is at 2013. And then they began increasing exponentially at 10% per chronologic year. In studies that control for socioeconomic and racial differences, this does not account for the variance seen in the rising male mortality rate. So you can take a look at the model there. And the linear model for this time series interruption supports the research question concerning the extent that biologic sex contributes to the rise in opioid-related mortalities after the introduction of illicitly manufactured fentanyl. If you want to come back next time, I will share with you all the code that you can put into R if you want to run your own program for this. This was really long, so if you made it this far and you're not related to me, that's amazing.